Talked about Street Machine Drag Challenge just a few minutes ago. Of course, I wanted to go over the top 5. They're one day in, except for whatever they're racing this morning, or right this morning over there, right now for us. So. Welcome to episode 127 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, presented by Summit Racing. First place currently is Keith Hards, 7.233. These are quarter mile times. Second place, Mark Drew, 7.430. And then in third place, Brandon Zito with a 7.547. So pretty awesome. Do you see the... Oh, it doesn't have it on this logo. Sorry. There's one of the logos. Maybe it's on the next one. No, they've been doing this 10 years. I didn't know they started in 2015.
I did not know that either. That's pretty awesome.
Yep. So, or maybe they started in 2016. This would be their 10th running. I don't know. I'm going to do some research on that. What's really strange to me is like these guys don't put out just a ton of that. It's kind of like Hot Rod in the early days, but I can't find any of this old stat stuff from the early days of Drag Challenge. So pretty awesome that they've been going that long. 10 years is a really long time. So they are putting out daily videos on the Street Machine YouTube, Facebook, and website. You can see daily coverage, just like Hot Rod Magazine does. Like Street Machine is basically the Hot Rod of Australia.
Yeah, would be kind of interesting, like we've done for Drag Week, is go back to what some of those averages were back in 2015 compared to today. I know we've done that for Drag Week. Be kind of interesting to do the same thing for this event too.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. We'll do that on Saturday morning for the news.
That'd be sweet.
Yep. So that's your top 5. 251 racers registered. So for it not to have just a ton of content out there, going on 10 years makes it really, kind of, it's the go-to event, I think, in Australia currently. So 251 racers out there, man. Just want to say good luck to them. It started yesterday, so we're going to recap classes on Saturday morning's news show and kind of go into that last day of racing with everybody's times and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And then up next, I don't know whose car this is, but that was super cool, man. I love all the different cars that are over there.
That is one of my favorite thing with these Australian and like Sweden events. Like seeing the different cars is always cool because we get so used to seeing, the same cars at events here in the U.S. And then you look at
Fox bodies and Chevy 2s.
Hey, stop it. You don't see that many LS Fox bodies in Drag Drive, okay? Stop.
Yeah, okay. None. It's a rare breed.
But it is always cool to see the different style cars. And like this one here, what's really cool is you see a lot of four-door stuff, which I think is really neat.
I mean, those cars were built just to drive around. They weren't built to do what we all do with them. So pretty fun. And then let's talk about some JayWire stuff because this is going to be a fun one here. And then we're going to bring Miss Laura in the next one here. So JayWire Solutions, Jay Blanchard, love you, buddy. Expert car and marine wiring solutions you can trust. JayWire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, or your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer tons of products that make your driving experience better, like the blinker module, like this the heater block off. Heater bypass block off, the wiring kits they offer, the plug and play for everything from Holly stuff to snowblowers. They can do it all. So hit up Jay at JayWire Solutions for all of your fun parts and pieces there. And then Dragzine's Horsepower Wars season 4 is back, but they're doing drag and drive with it. So Brian Wagner, if you guys don't know, he's a big drag and drive guy. He always is out at a drag and drive. He's building himself a drag and drive car at more speed and performance. John Moore's place. It's going to be kind of awesome. They actually had, I guess, Horsepower Wars was the engine shootout between the LT and the Coyote. Coyote built by Fast Forward Race Engines, and then the LT built by Late Model Engines for same turbo size, all that same fuel, all that kind of stuff that they can do to keep it same. The Coyote made 18 more horsepower than the LT did, so I thought that was kind of cool to know. And then the whole reason we're talking about this is their season opened to Sunday or something like that. So I watched that episode today. I don't know how I missed it, but our boy Eric Yost out here, because they're doing a drag and drive spin on it, so they're the same transmission, same they'll be able to change the converter, gearing, and all that kind of stuff. But one truck is at Eric Yost's place, Customs by Biggin. And then the other truck is at Big 3 Racing with
Nice. That's pretty
Chuck
cool.
Stefanski and those guys. So yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. So it's a great, like the first episode's very short, it's like 8 minutes, but it talks about kind of the builds of the truck. You know, this is the one that's at Eric's, and then this one here's the one that's at Chuck's place, or Big 3 Racing, not just Chuck, but they have 3 people there. So I thought this was pretty cool. So now they're going to basically take and do a 100-mile drive in the trucks and then go to Dragway 42, which is where Chuck and those guys at Big 3 Racing are home based. And they're going to make passes all day during an event. And then they're going to, the 2 quickest passes create their average. And that's who's going to determine who wins.
I like that.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. And what's interesting is they're using C10 trucks, which would be something you would put these in. Eric obviously doing the Coyote setup is interesting in a C10 truck. I think that's probably going to break the internet once that really gets out and about, because these trucks look like, hey, you know, they're going to have LSs in them anyways. They both have turbo 400s. I don't know if they have locked in what rear gear they can use. I don't think so, but I mean, it'll be kind of a cool deal. And of course, putting the drag and drive spin on it from a magazine as big as Dragzine is going to help, you know, just draw more people over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to check that out. It looks like they drop them every Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I've seen so far. So I'm kind of excited. They've got a whole series on the engines and the builds and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, you know, I'm more of a truck guy, so this is kind of right up my alley.
Yeah, and both of those are good looking trucks too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that black one's got me though, man. That's good looking. And it's both of them super clean and will make really nice trucks. The white truck has what looked like, and I don't know if this was just in the back, but it looked like it had like a full cage and stuff in the bed. But looking here, I don't know why you would cage the bed and not put a cage inside the truck. So it must just be a shot the way they shot. It must be a different truck.
No, I guess it doesn't. For a second, I thought it looked like there was a cage in it, but
yeah,
it's just that white trim that I was seeing.
Yep. Tommy Dupree says both awesome trucks. They were at Summit a couple weeks ago, and that's part of their drag and drive challenge. Part of it is they leave, I would think, Big 3, drive to Summit Racing because that's the title sponsor of the series, and then drive back and make the passes. So about 100-mile drive, you know, which is, yeah, that's about what we consider a day's drive. You know, that's your minimum.
Right.
Yeah, so pretty awesome setup, and then super cool trophy.
Yeah. That looks like a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how that works out. Again, thanks to JayWire. We appreciate him and all he does for us. And I told Laura to be on at 8:20, and we're way over that. So we got to stop talking and get to this, man. Lead us into the Molly segment, please, sir. We can't do this without you guys. Like, race car friends really make the world go round, and we appreciate you guys being in here and doing this with us. I can't say it enough, you guys. There's some really fun stuff that's coming up for all of our race car friends that are out there. So do me a favor, hit that share button as we get into this. And then for our sponsors, y'all, listen, if you're trying to do a little bit of shopping, you know, we're coming up on some off season, in air quotes. You know, the while I'm in there time is coming here in the winter, you know, where you park your car and you take something apart and you go, oh, while I'm in there, I might as well go ahead and insert race car upgrade here. And then, you know, so we can't do that without these sponsors. So if you're doing some shopping, hit these guys up, see if they got something that you need. Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, JayWire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Look, if you're trying to do something, hit those guys up, see what they got going on, and see if they can do something for you.